Hi, I'm Kili, also known as Kelly.
And I'm Fili, also known as Alex,
Welcome to our corner of the Shire,
where we will show you how to bring Middle Earth
into your daily life to keep you
a happy hobbit.
Hey, Fili. Hi, Mischief.
Hi. What are you up to?
My goodness.
Yeah, Mischief and I are just hanging out reading Darkling.
What, you two poor people who are on the mend? You just had your double knee surgery and she just got fixed, so she's wearing her cool outfit.
Yeah, this is the injury corner. So we've been reading about corpses, which is, kind of appropriate since today's Halloween.
It is. And speaking of Halloween, I was wondering if maybe we should just kind of do a quiet one and we should all just stay home, just us girls and have fun and...
Why would you want to be having fun on today's Halloween of all Halloweens?
What do you mean? It's a holiday. That's when you do things.
It's a holiday, but you didn't hear the news?
You mean the news that Darkling now has a companion novel titled The Watcher by K.M. Rice?
And that's not it, but it's out now.
Yeah, this is just a different cover for Darkling. Done, and both covers are done by Weta Workshop's Lindsay Crummett. She's great.
So is she.
No, I didn't. What news?
Okay.
Other than the K.M. Rice news, I haven't heard any news.
Yeah, because you don't know how to read. It's been all over the Hobbiton banner. Barrow-Wights, seen across the Shire, Toothborough, even outside the Shire in Bree. I think there's even been some sightings in Rohan. Yeah, ask Eowyn.
Let me guess, this is just like the story I told that Halloween to try to scare you about Mrs. Brambleberg.
No, it's not! I can't believe you don't believe me, and if you don't believe me, then maybe you'll believe Eowyn. Or Mischief.
Eowyn?
Yeah! Like I said, the Barrow-Wights have been seen in Rohan.
Kili, it's Eowyn. Fili asked me to call you because she said you didn't believe the Barrow-Wights had been released from the Barrow-Downs. All over the papers. They're making a mess. It's not safe out there right now. I'm on my way to investigate and see what I can do to take care of the problem. It's never too early to start drinking, especially if you're going to be dealing with wights. Heard white bites hurt a lot. Anyways, I did some research. The only way you can protect yourselves to be not taken by these wights and turned into a wight yourself is you have to leave out something of value. Not sure how accurate this information is, but I'm doing my best to help you girls out. Alright, I'm gonna go do battle with the wights. Not sure how it's gonna go, but good luck, girls. Protect yourselves, leave out something of value, and you should be fine. Alright.
I can't believe this! I told you. Mischief can't believe it either! I told you. Fili, we have to do something! This is what I'm telling you! They're coming! They're coming, Mischief! You guys are both really vulnerable! We have to do something to protect you. I know!
I'll distract them. I'll leave out something valuable that's something valuable to me to distract them so they won't come for you.
Yes, good idea. Let's go do that. And then maybe they'll just come for her instead.
Welcome to this episode of Happy Hobbit. If you're like us and are afraid that Barrow-Wights are going to come to your door on Halloween night, then you're going to need something to, well, maybe not bake, but that's what we're going to show you today. Something that will distract them. Remember, Barrow-Wights are dark spirits. They can take any form. People often think that they take the forms of the kings of the dead men of the past, but that's only because they've fled and hid in the Barrow-Downs, where those dead kings were buried. They could take any shape. So, we're gonna cheer things up by doing some baking. I'm gonna show you how to make one of my favorite cookies, a classic sugar cookie. Then we'll show you how to decorate it to keep it happy and cheerful, and then maybe something dark and scary, we'll just want that, and we'll leave you and your poor crippled sister and dog alone. So, for this recipe, you will need a mixing bowl, some measuring spoons, 2 eggs, and these are fresh from our hens. Well, it is October, so not fresh is a relative term. They stop laying as it gets darker out. So they've been washed, because they are from our hens.
And eggs can last a long time if you don't wash them, so that's why we're not about to eat rotten eggs that aren't, quote, fresh.
You will also need a teaspoon of salt, 3/4 cup of butter, a cup of sugar, I believe 2.5 cups of flour, yes, 2.5 cups of flour, a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of salt, and however much vanilla you want. The actual recipe calls for 1 teaspoon, but as you know, when Kili cooks, Kili's generous. And that's everything, folks. So let's go behind the counter and start baking. To begin with, as you can see, I am dressed as a young McGonagall.
Is that your Halloween costume?
No, but I'm sorry that that's a different genre. But as you remember, in a Hobbit Halloween, we did explore cross-genre stuff. So, to start with, I'm going to be Holly Housewife and put on an apron to protect my nicer clothes. We've never done this in Happy Hobbit before. I usually don't take the time to put on an apron when I'm baking, but it can be useful. One time I tried to cook bacon in a swimsuit with 2-piece. That didn't go well. I wish I had an apron that day. Bacon grease, it flies places. Okay, so now that I'm all ready, time to start cooking. I like this, it has pockets. I just want to wear it all day. Okay. Cameraman, you're gonna have to quiet down a little. It's time to focus. Alright, to begin with, I hope that you will all appreciate this. I set this butter out to soften to room temperature last night. Thank you, thank you. We've got a live studio audience today, folks.
Yeah!
Now, if you watch Happy Hobbit regularly, you know that whenever a recipe calls for room temperature butter, it's usually some butter we took out of the fridge and tried to microwave gently on a low power setting to soften it, and it usually ends up in a puddle. So this time, I do get points for having it be soft. So I've put our 3/4 of a cup of butter, or you could use shortening or margarine if you're old school, into our mixing bowl. And I'm going to combine that with a cup of sugar, that was me doing the sound effect of Karad Ross Winds. It wasn't actually a Barrow-Wight. Then I'm going to add 2 eggs. Right. Chuck these shells in the bin, wash my hands. Now it's time to add the vanilla, or whatever flavoring you choose to use. For this recipe, you could also substitute lemon juice for vanilla, but there's a lot of different types of flavors out there, and you could really add whatever you want. But for these cookies, because I want them to be nice and sweet to lure the Barrow-Wights to them, instead of to us, I'm adding vanilla. Now the recipe calls for a teaspoon of vanilla extract. You already saw me put in a teaspoon, now watch this. Wipe the extra on the apron, that's what it's there for now. Smell like vanilla. Crooked Kili at her finest. So, now, what do we add, folks? Well, now we blend this all together. because these are all the wet ingredients. Can you see them in there?
Yeah.
And it's time to blend them.
Alright, I'm gonna do my best to film and blend at the same time. Because as we showed you, Kili's got knees that are slowly healing from a big surgery and she can't really stand or do too much right now. Right, here we go.
Now that all of our wet ingredients are combined, it's time to add the dry. So there are 2.5 cups of flour going into this. Sifting is something that a lot of people don't like to take the time to do. But I'm a sifter. I find it helps with the consistency of my baked goods. And you'll also note that I'm adding flour to this cup by the scooper rather than sticking my measuring cup in and scooping it up. And that's because when you do that, you compact the flour and you might be getting more flour in than you actually wanted. So that's why you scoop, and this, you also know why I sift. Sift, sift, sift. There's 1 cup. Here comes 2 cups. And then we will do the 1/2 cup. But before I measure that out, what I'm going to do is put in my teaspoon of salt and my teaspoon of baking soda, but I'm not going to add them directly to the batter. I'm putting it in my measuring cup because then it will get sifted with the just launched salt. It'll get sifted with the rest of my flour and get blended more properly because I'm not mixing all the dry ingredients together at once in a separate bowl. So here we go. I'm eyeballing this last 1/2 cup. That looks about right. And in we go. Okay, so everything's all sifted together. Time to blend. Now that you have your dough all ready, you're going to cover it and put it in the refrigerator to chill for an hour. So, once that's done, it's time to make the actual cutout sugar cookies. You're going to start with your cutting board. Our regular viewers will know that I made this cutting board in 4-H many years ago. So you're going to flour the surface. With this type of cookie, you really don't have to worry about working in too much flour and changing the type. It's a pretty tough cookie. If it were a butter cookie, then you would have to worry a little bit. So I'm getting a big scoop of the dough, plop it down there, let it get some flour coating, and add a little bit more to our workspace. Then I'm going to take the rolling pin, and this is the trick. You get the rolling pin coated in a dusting of flour as well. So that helps prevent the dough from sticking. Now, for the sake of expediency, this dough has not been chilled. And that's part of why I'm being so generous with the flour. So, we'll see what happens, folks. I'm just kind of patting the dough into a circle to start with. And, ooh, it's very soft. Now I'm rolling. And you want it to be about 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick. So I'm just going to eyeball it. That looks about right. This is a pumpkin cookie dough cutter. And I just tapped it in some of the flour on the cutting board. You don't always have to do that, but I'm doing it because, like I said, this dough is extra sticky right now. So I'm just going to punch that in. And you make sure that you press down on all of the edges. And this is where some of your spatial skills will come in handy because you can kind of figure where you're going to be able to get the most pumpkins out of this piece of dough. Every once in a while, like right here, you're able to get it just the right angle, but you still get a pumpkin. Then you take your spatula, you kind of scoop away the dough that you didn't use for the shape. Slide it under your pumpkin. I've just put a piece of parchment paper onto this pan because it makes it easier to pull the pumpkins off. The cookies off. The pumpkin shape, I mean. And you'll notice these are plain. Unlike our episode, one of our Christmas episodes where we decorated the cookies before we baked them. That's because we're going to decorate these cookies after they've been baked. I'm going to decorate them with a buttercream frosting and some goodies. So I have the leftover dough here. I'm re-spreading the flour. This ball dough is quite small, so I'm going to add some more.
I've heard the Barrow-Wights love the decorations on the cookies.
I hope our dogs do too, because I just dropped a plop of dough. Yeah, so the reason I chose pumpkins is because then they will resemble jack-o'-lanterns. Do you guys know the legend of the jack-o'-lantern? Jack of the Lantern? Well, one of the myths, I think coming from old Ireland, is that wayward spirits on All Hallows Eve sought homes in the jack-o'-lanterns. They were drawn to the little lights. What does Smeagol say about the Barrow-Wights? Well, never mind. In the movies, I think he isn't talking about the Barrow-Wights. He's just reciting the Barrow-Wights dirge that they sing in the books. But, cold be heart and hand and bone, cold be traveller far from home. The Barrow-Wights are restless spirits wandering. I'm hoping that they will behave like these other spirits and they'll be drawn to the cheery jack-o'-lanterns, the cheerful colors and the sweetness, and they'll take the cookies instead of me or my sister, my dog, or you. Snickering behind the camera.
No. Maybe I'm Thorin.
Uncle Thorin, did we finally get to meet you?
Yeah, I came in the goat episode. What are you talking about?
And said I want roast chicken. Okay, this might be enough for this tray. So I have the oven, the Smaug mouth, preheating to 400 degrees, and I am going to cook these for a brief time. I believe it is 6 minutes. 6 to 8 minutes. They're a light cookie. They don't take very long to bake. And that's a high baking temperature. So I'm going to pop them in the oven when the time comes. And it's okay to space them out like this, because unlike other cookies, this type doesn't really spread out and expand as it bakes. It does a teeny bit and it expands upwards, but because that would be the egg in it making it expand. But other than that, you're safe clumping them together.
They also taste really good, a little bit overcooked and browned. That's my favorite.
People have different ideas on how to make them taste better.
Just a little feely tip.
Alright, the oven's at 400 degrees, so I'm going to stick them in for 6 to 8 minutes. And as I always advise, do it for the lower end of the numbers first, of the cooking time first, and check on it. So here it goes. Oh, it's hot in there. Now it's time to decorate the cookies. So what I have is a basic buttercream frosting recipe, and I've dyed the frosting orange, and I'm going to use that for my pumpkin cookie. Spread it on there. These cookies, especially when they turn out thick like this, are almost like little cakes. You can take as much or as little time as you want frosting and decorating these cookies. I don't have much time because it's Halloween and the Barrow-Wights are coming. So I've got to do this quick. This is some black frosting. I'm going to make a black cat. Again, this is just a simple buttercream frosting, which is butter, powdered sugar, vanilla, and a little splash of milk all blended together.
think 2 sticks of butter, 4 cups of powdered sugar, a teaspoon or more of vanilla. Or you could buy frosting at the store if you want to. I don't like that kind though, it's too sweet. So what I have to decorate with is some candy corn. And like I said, I don't have a ton of time. If you have more time, then you can make cookies that look a little bit better. But you can break up the candy corn if you want to make... Okay, this candy corn doesn't want to break. Okay, well we're going to use this tip. He's going to have a little snowman nose. And we've also got some sprinkles here. He's going to have some orange in his ears. And you can also do something like take a toothpick and draw some designs. I'm going to draw whiskers. And my kitty needs a mouth. Maybe... What should I do for his mouth? I'm going to take the moons from this mix. Make him a little vampire cat. That'll attract and scare away a Barrow-Wight. There we go. For the jack-o'-lantern, pumpkin eyes, pumpkin nose, pumpkin mouth, and there you go. So, you can have as much fun as you want, and like I said, take as little or as much time as you want. Variety of sprinkles. I might add some sprinkles to this guy. Just because. Oh yeah. I love sprinkles. And just have fun with it. So I'm gonna go take these and leave them out for the Barrow-Wights so that they'll leave us alone. Fili! Look! I did it!
Oh my gosh, what took you so long?
Well, I had to start with the dough and make them with bake them and the frosting and decorating, but I think they turned out pretty good.
Yeah!
I think that they look cheerful and sugary and they'll definitely keep the Barrow-Wights at bay.
I agree. I think they'll definitely do the trick. Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah, these are great.
So if you want to keep Barrow-Wights from your... Oh.
No, it's so good.
Fili, what are you doing?
Alright.
These are for the Barrow-Wights!
Cat's out of the bag! Meow! It's all fake, I made it up.
What?
Yeah. I can't believe you believe me.
But Eowyn said...
Yeah. Eowyn is also on her way over to help me eat these. Look, I'm sorry. What's a little Halloween, or what's Halloween without a little trick and treating?
Trick to get treats?
Mm-hmm. Look, you can have some. It's all fake. Are you happy the dead isn't about to come kill us?
I'm pretty happy. I think you'll be too. From Kili
And Fili,
Happy Hobbity Halloween.
What are you doing? Yeah, they are. I guess I'll share. Cheers. Send us photos of your cookies. Candy corn. Nothing like pure sugar.
Apparently it was all stuck to me. And time to cut. I don't have the cutters yet, so I gotta go grab them. Forgot about that part. That hurt my eyes. But I'm old now, and I can tell you that I've done it a lot in my life, and they never got stuck that way. can stop.
I don't want to stop. I'm never going to stop filming you the rest of your life.
From Kili.
And Fili, happy Halloween.
Okay. You were so scared.
That was scary.
Okay.
Barrow-Wights have taken over.
What?
Yeah, Barrow-Wights. You know, terrifying life forms of the dead.
Mischief, I agree. This is just a scary story she's trying to tell.
It's not a scary story. It was on the headline of the press.
No.
Will you believe me? Will you believe me, Mischief? This is not a joke.
Stealing the jack-o'-lanterns.
That's not what I'm talking about, dude. You guys, can you believe me? Will you believe me? They have been seen all over the Shire. It's terrifying. And if we don't do something to keep them away, I'm crippled. This dog, okay, she can move more than me right now, but she just had surgery. We need to do something to protect ourselves. Barrow-Wights. Dead.
Yeah, I don't
dead.
believe her.
They're dead. Yet they're alive and they're gonna come get us. So can we please do something to keep them away?
I don't believe you unless I hear it.
Foot is being licked.
You're supposed to introduce Aggie's footage.
It's just biting it.
Mischief, you went insane as soon as the camera went on. She went insane.
She's been sleeping.
She's biting her own foot.
Yeah, Missy.
Wait, how do we redo that? Aggie?
Yeah.
I know. I looked over and I saw that you took a bite. I was like, that was like half the cookie.
I know, I want to be real. Wait, we'll try. Okay.
Oh, you don't want to be in the video? Really? You don't? Yeah, you're just too embarrassed in your pink unisuit.
You look so nice.
You look beautiful, Missy. Okay, let's just try.
Okay, let's try.
Okay. Behind the counter and start baking.
Where the lighting is worse.
That's okay, nobody wants to see me anyway.
Nobody listened to me. I don't even know who I am.
I feel like you're some cameraman.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He's back.
Cameraman.
He's back. Maybe he was the
I
Barrow-Wight.
was about to say, reveal
The Barrow-Wight's identity.
he was there all along.
They are real.
Alright.